Hello, welcome to the Unit 3 test corrections on decimals. Let's get started. So the first question, list these numbers in descending order. That's greatest to least. So we're gonna come over here. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna write these numbers down vertically. Okay, so now that I've got them written down vertically, I can find my largest one. I can tell it's 11. 11 and 1/100th. The next one is going to be our ones place, so 1 and 100th. My third one will be 101 thousandths. My fourth one will be here with 100th. And then finally 1,000th. So let me read the question again. Greatest to least. So greatest down to least. Good. Next one is write this number in word form. So we have 13 and 943 thousandths. So that's what we're going to literally write down. 13 and 943 thousandths. And it's important to put the THS for the decimal place value, th. Compare these decimals using greater than, less than, or equal to. So when looking at this number, they both have nothing in their ones place. This one has a 9 in the tenths, and this has an 8 in the tenths. So that tells me right away that this is our larger value. 9 tenths is greater than 81 hundredths. Same thing for this one. We're comparing 79 hundredths to 790 thousandths. So again, looking at our ones place, they're equal. Looking at our tenths place, they're equal. Our hundredths place, they're equal. And we can add as many zeros as we want on the end, they're going to be equal. So these two are equal values. Our next one's a bit of a tricky question. We have 8.2, or 8 and 2 tenths times 6 and 4 tenths divided by 6 hundredths. So with order of operations, we have to start with our parentheses first, so it indicates here. So we have to divide 6 and 4 tenths divided by 6 hundredths, and before I can begin, I need to move my decimal place by multiplying by 100 to make it a whole number. And since I moved this one 2 place values, I need to move this one 2 place values as well. And that means my decimal is now here, and I'm going to put it in the quotient so I don't forget. And 3 place values is what I've asked you to go. So 3 place values after the decimal. So now I can divide. 6 goes into 6 at one time. Bring down. 6 goes into 4 0 times. And again, I'm putting my numbers above the number I've divided by. 6 goes into 46 times. And that's going to be a repeating thing if you notice right here. It's going to keep on repeating. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 6 and 6 here because it's going to keep going. I don't have any more room either. So now my problem reads 8 and 2 tenths times this value. Some of you chose to do 106 and 6 tenths. Some of you chose to do 66 hundredths. Some of you chose to round, so I kind of give you some partial credit, but in the future you are supposed to go through decimal places, and that's what I want you to do. So now I've got to multiply this number by 8.2. So here we go. So my next one is 8 times 6 is 48. think I made a mistake. Let me take a second. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 6 is 48. 49, 50, 51, 52. 8 times 6 is 48 plus. Okay, I'm good to go. Sorry. Okay, so I left off with here. 8 times 6 is 48 is 53. 0. And then I'm going to move my decimal place 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So my final answer is 874. And there we go. Give me 1 second. Okay, so that wraps up for that problem, meaning this is our answer. And I'm going to go on to the next problem. Alright, we have 2 and 36 hundredths to the second power. So that's represented by multiplying our base 2 times. And to save time, I've written it down, but I've multiplied with my calculator just to show you what the final answer was. And we had to move our decimal place 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So our final answer was this. Number 7, I'm going to take, with the addition problem, I'm going to take my largest piece and I'm going to put that on top. And then I'm lining up by decimal place when we're adding and subtracting. Most of you did really well on that question. For the next one, for subtraction, you can't rearrange your factors, so you have to keep them in the order they're given to you. But you still have to line up the place value. And here a lot of you forgot to put a place value, that 0 there, because you can't subtract nothing. You have to borrow. So and then we get 11 and 56 hundredths, their final answer. And again, to double check these, you can always take your bottom 2 numbers and add them together, and they should equal back to your final answer as a double checking measure. Next we have 2 subtract 1/10. So when I write this one down, I'm going to go ahead and put, because I know this has got a decimal involved, I'm going to go ahead and put a decimal here so I can be prepared for that. A lot of you forgot to put that there and subtracted 2 minus 1, and you just can't do that. And we get 1.9 or 1 9/10. And if you think about that in real life, we're taking $2 and taking away a dime, so that makes sense. Alright, getting into the word problems. Mr. Jones went to Walmart to buy groceries for dinner. He had to buy hamburger buns for $2.89, ground turkey for $4.78, and baked beans for $2.69. She gave the cashier, and it's a typo, he gave the cashier a $20 bill. How much change did she get back? So I'm going to take my 3 values and add them up to see how much money was spent first. So it looks like he spent $10.36, but the question's asking how much money does he get back. So if he gave the cashier the $20 bill, I know that this represents $20 with my decimals, and I'm going to take away 1036 by lining up my place value. Alright, so then I can subtract. And I see that he gets $9.64 back. Number 11, Lily and her two friends ate lunch at a cafe. They decided to split the bill evenly. The total bill was $17.82. How much was each person's share? So I gave some partial credit here if you divided correctly. However, you were supposed to divide by Lily and her two friends, which is 3 people. So that would be $17.82 divided by 3 people. 3 goes into 17 5 times. Bring my decimal and my quotient before I forget. So each person was responsible for $5.96. I think I also accepted $8.91 or something close to that if you divided by 2 and not 3, even though you didn't follow the directions. Number 12, Alicia paid $1.32 for a bag of candy. The candy cost 55 cents per pound. How much did the bag of candy weigh? So this one I'm going to figure out, if I know how much the bag costs and how much it costs per pound, I need to figure out the weight, so I need to divide. So it's $1.32 divided by 55 cents. And I need to multiply by 100 to get to my whole number. Do the same thing to my dividend. And add on my 3 place values. 55 goes into 0 to 1 to 13. It goes into 132 twice. And then it goes into 224 times. So our final answer is 2.4 pounds is how much the bag weighed. All right, number 13. Miss Long is going to the Taylor Swift concert with 4 friends. If the tickets cost $42.33 each, how much? Looks like I need to fix this. Give me 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so how much did they each spend? So again, a lot of you forgot to count Miss Long when you were counting her friends. So it's Miss Long and her 4 friends. So it's $42.33 times 5 and not times 4. But again, I did accept partial credit if you got your multiplication right. But you need to get in the habit of reading the instructions better. So I need to find my decimal. It's 2 places in my place over here. So that's going to be $211.65 for the total amount of tickets, the total amount. Next one, during the diving competition, Sue performed 4 different dives. She received the following scores: 7.5, 7.387, 8.26, and 7.951. What was her total score? So this one we're just simply adding up our decimals, so I'm going to line them up because we're adding. And I'm going to be very careful to keep my place values in line. So 7 and 1 is 8. 8 and 6 is 14, plus 5 more is 19. So 9 and 1 is 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Bring my decimal place down when we're adding and subtracting. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 8 is 29, 30, 31. So her total score was 31 and 98 thousandths. All right. Number 15. Molly and her 2 brothers were anxiously awaiting the release of the movie. By the way, this is not a question on your test. It'll be on maybe a future test, so just follow along. Molly and her 2 brothers were anxiously awaiting the release of the movie, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, on DVD. They've saved $14.50 already in total. However, in order to buy the movie, they have to save $24.51. If Molly and her two brothers were going to split the cost of the movie evenly, how much more would each of them need to save? So we need to figure out how much more they need. So I'm going to take my two values, $21.51, and subtract the $14.50 they've already saved. And it looks like they've got $10.01 left amongst the three of them. So I'm going to divide by 3 now. And I'm going to put my decimal up here, sorry. And I'm going to go one more place value. So it looks like if they each saved $3.34 more, then they'll have enough to buy the movie. So I used that 6 to round my 3 up. So $3 each. Okay, number 16, and the last question. Two students multiplied zero point 0.2 by zero point 0.4. Student 1 found a product of 0.8 and student 2 found a product of 0.08. Which student had the correct answer? Well, if I were to multiply these myself, let's just see what we get. So 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 0, and then 0 and 0. And with my multiplying, I count how many place values are there. There's 2 here. So I need to start at my end and go to the left 2 places. So my answer is 0 and 8/100ths. So I'm thinking that student 2 was correct, but I'm guessing that student 1 got it wrong because student 1, I think if I had to, figure out what they did wrong, they probably brought their decimal straight down in the answer instead of moving it 2 places. So that's not correct. You have to move it 2 places to the left because there's 2 decimal place values. So I hope that helped. If not, see me during class, homeroom, or focus time.